Yeah, the agenda for today will be to just give you a short overview over the printed packaging solution, what I'm doing right now. And then we will just go through the sales and production workflow, including scheduling, shop floor control, a little bit talk about costing and BI. I will not be focusing too much on the standard functionality of an ERP. Our standing here in the Dynamics 365 is that the vision of Dynamics 365, of course, is that our solution is built on this platform, and we provide specific modules for print and packaging to make the project implementation more secure, more quick, and also cheaper, because you don't have to develop everything yourself. We come already with 85% or 90% of your requirements, and then so the whole project implementation is much easier. And this should, of course, dramatically reduce the number of interfaces and the number of modifications we need for building the solution. And this is actually a big benefit when implementing the system. And one very important aspect for Dynamics 365 is, and that also applies to the print and packaging module, if you like, is that this one version vision of Microsoft. So once we have implemented the system, you will every 2 months or 3 months, you will get updates to the system, small updates to the system. So you will never go into the situation anymore that you have an outdated old ERP system, right? It will be evergreen. Microsoft also calls that evergreen. So it will be up to date all the time over the next 20 years. So that's really a big benefit, because most of the old ERP implementations always had the problem that after 10, 15 years, you had a really old system, and then you had to go into that big project again to implement the new system. And this is actually not necessary anymore with Dynamics 365. And also what's important to understand is today we are just talking about this little puzzle piece here on the top left corner, and the whole ecosystem of Dynamics 365 is all what you see here. It's about security. It's about low code, no code, power platform services. It's about mixed reality in maintenance and so on. So there's a whole, it's a whole big platform where you can start small, like maybe with just implementing Dynamics 365, but then you can grow as your requirements grow to expand to other areas which are of interest in a business scenario as well. So that's also important to understand. So normally when you decide for Dynamics 365, you're not just deciding for an application or for a functionality, but you're actually deciding for a whole platform. Again, I'm just talking about this little button here, finance and operations, but you can see already in the finance in the Dynamics 365 eco space, there is lots of different systems and applications available, and you can decide to grow gradually into those things. For example, we have many customers who first just implemented the bare bone ERP functionality to make the shop work again from A to Z, and then they will later start with CRM functionality and with other customer service projects and so on. If you come to our print and packaging module, we are providing a set of modules and applications to actually help you speed up your production configuration process. That's probably the main heart of our system, because we see in many of our customers that they have this lot size one problem. I call it the lot size one problem, which means to make the same €1 million of revenue today as you probably did 20 years ago, you need to make many more print variants. You need to make many more orders, because the lot sizes are going down, the product variability is going up. Our customers, like the big consumer brands and so on, they do a more regionalized, more localized marketing, which means for us we need to print more different versions of the product, which makes it more important for us to be quickly able to configure new products, to manage the products, and to bring them into production in a more quick way. And this touches several applications, of course, in the whole process. It's not only about configuring and managing the bill of material in an efficient way and so on. It's also important to integrate with systems like ESCO, Web Center, and artwork processing, because of course every new print variant you need to manage the print data, you need to approve for printing and so on. And the mission is, of course, to digitalize all those processes in a great way, so we can keep up our profit margins and so on with that high number of orders we have to process. Yeah. So if you look just on the 30,000 foot view of print and packaging, we are the whole application, so everything you see today is actually programmed or provided inside Dynamics 365. So it's not a sidecar or something like that. It's really an integral part of the solution. Nevertheless, of course, we are adding functionality to Dynamics 365, and we are also providing certain services like some of our customers will need a CAD, computer-aided design integration. Mainly the ones who make folding boxes and corrugated boxes and so on, not so much normally in flexible packaging. Then we have a shop floor data collection we need on the shop floor to collect the machine data and to collect the the setup time, runtime, waste codes, and so on. We provide a scheduling module to do the production scheduling in a certain way. And then, as I already mentioned, we have interfaces to ESCO, to hybrid, to different pre-press systems to help automating and improving the artwork and the print approval process. And then, like as a little side project here, we also have an IoT, an Internet of Things application, which would allow to connect your production machines via a real-time interface to the cloud and to Dynamics 365. So you have more real-time insights into your production besides the manual clocking on a shop floor terminal. This is also an optional module. So but what we are adding on top of Dynamics 365, it's mainly, I mentioned it already, it's mainly our product configurator, which is really special. But we also have a specific production module, because very often in print and packaging industry, we have couple productions or gang together productions. So we have multiple items on the same web sheet, for example, and we need a special way of shop floor handling. We have integrated with the quality management system of Dynamics 365. So often we need quality checks for every step of semi-finished goods in the production process. So we need to inspect the extruded film. We need to inspect the printed film and so on. And so that there's an integrated quality management available with Dynamics 365, and we are using that as well. And then I mentioned already capacity and planning and scheduling. We do provide some out-of-the-box interfaces for you, probably mainly interesting ESCO Web Center. We also have a little product development process, a little project management module integrated, which helps us to organize certain workflows in the daily business. So, for example, if a customer asks for a quote, very often internal sales cannot just make the quote like that. First, we need an internal process to validate what kind of film do we need, what kind of product attributes do we need to specify, so we can actually build or comply to the customer requirements. And this we would typically do not just by sending around emails and this kind of stuff, but we would then have a product development process who would help us to organize this kind of in product development processes. And then, of course, we also integrate to business intelligence. Power BI is a big topic around Dynamics 365, of course. And then we also have certain interfaces like IoT or JDF, depending on what kind of machines you actually have. So if you look at our overall process I'm going through, just following this, is normally many of our customers are really in this make-to-order business. So we do customer-specific products. So we normally get an inquiry from the customer, and then we have to do a quotation. We have to create a new item structure, what we call an estimation, which probably involves also this product development process. And then we will handle that, and then we will send that quotation. We will have some CRM activities, so we can follow up, or external sales can actually follow up the quotation, and then either we will have a successful business and we get a sales order. We get a sales order, or what's also available in Dynamics 365 are so-called sales agreements. This is, and I guess you will have that as well. That's more the frame or the volume contracts, which maybe run over a year. You have I don't know, 2 million bags over a whole year, and then the customer will call them off every month in a certain quantity and so on. That's what's called a sales agreement in Dynamics 365. Of course, we could also be unfortunate and lose the quotation, and then we would just close it. And then, of course, we will go on with the sales order or the sales agreement. And normally we then also will be able to create either a production order directly, a make to order, so from sales order to production order, or of course, also we could just use MRP, the manufacturing resource planning capabilities of Dynamics 365, to just generate the production orders from a sales order demand. And then this would be capacity planned automatically, and then we would handle different aspects of the product, of the production make-ready process. We would, of course, get the pre-press approval of the items, and then we would also do the material management. We would purchase film, or we would purchase inks and tooling and whatever. So we also tool management. We also cover in our production process. And then at the end, of course, we would do this job scheduling, execute the order in the shop floor, get our shop floor feedback, and then at the end we would have the logistics process and the invoicing process, which is rather standard ERP. So I will not really largely touch on the last two boxes there today, because that's really standard Dynamics 365. All right. And yeah, for what we also provide in our module is that Dynamics 365 works a lot with so-called workspaces. That's kind of grouped together functionality for certain types of users. And Dynamics talks about user roles. And we also found in many of our customers, we found that they have very similar roles in their process. We have production planners, we have internal salespeople, we have external salespeople, and so on. So we also provide this kind of ready-made workspaces as a quick start, if you like, to get you started more quickly. But the good thing with Dynamics 365 is also that all those workspaces are also fully customizable, as the whole application is very good in being customizable. So of course, at the end, in the project implementation, we will then also be able to customize those views to your needs, or if you have different roles in your organization.